I was like, really? We want to do church at a bar on a Sunday morning after Saturday night?
It's funny because everybody was asking that, like,
Yeah.
oh, where's your church? At a bar? They're like, you're kidding me. It's like so, not known, not common at all. Ironic, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
I think it is. And it's crazy because who would have ever thought of that?
So I do remember when we first come to Chase. So how are we exactly gonna do church here? And so it was we were trying to be Sacramento Extensions. And when Pastor Q came back from the 2K2, that's when everything was elevated, where we actually we're now at the next level. That's when we actually had Pipe and Drake block out all the alcohol.
Because we're finally learning about it.
Exactly. Because people was giving, because people was volunteering, and Chase is no longer hold that many people.
Yeah.
We need a bigger place.
Yeah.
God's kingdom.
God's blessing.
Amen.
Man, I just remember, do you remember like when we first came here and like the amount of blessings that came from Elevation? And like that gift alone was just so much for the band. Like, I remember like how exciting. We talked about in-ear monitors forever, and then we really had them.
Yeah.
And then like not only that, but then we got new equipment. We got new drums, like new mics. It was crazy, like the level that went up just from like what to them was a small blessing, but like it meant everything to us.
Yeah. And I remember like at that time we were like, what now? We have like 8 vocalists.
Yeah.
And back then I was one of 3 at the most.
For sure. Right.
And at some point just me.
Definitely.
And then I remember when they like officially announced like our move.
Right.
And then the growth that happened just once we got into Edward Harris was amazing.
Yeah, that was such an awesome experience.
So Chia, do you remember when we actually moved from Rosemont High School to here to Edward Harris Middle School?
I do, man. I remember every moment of that move. You know, it's so funny because like I'm getting flashbacks right now. We used to always unload right here in the front, and they bring all the totes in here, and all these tables for these cafeteria tables, we would slide them all just like this, stack them all over here. Then we would pipe and drape from that corner all the way down to that exit, so people wouldn't see it, and that would set the atmosphere in here.
Right, and I was in production, and so like the
you were.
stage was right there. So that's where we'd do the setup. We'd put the truss, the can lights.
Oh,
we'd have
yeah.
the production table back
Yep.
here with the CG1 and CG2. Like, man, this is amazing.
Yeah.
I can't believe we actually have access here today.
It's funny because like beneath those doors were all our chairs.
All the chairs.
Yeah, we would have to
we
pull it
them,
out.
we'd open the cabinets,
every
pull
Sunday
them. Yeah.
morning, pull it out and set out exactly like 100 and somewhat chairs.
Right.
And align them one by one every Sunday.
And by the time we were done, like it did not look like a multi-purpose room / cafeteria. Then after here, we went to CRC.
I know. Oh my gosh.
I can't wait.
It's gonna be so good.
Like the best is yet to come.
For sure. Man.
Around. I mean, it's so amazing because when we were over at Edward Harris, E-Kids was separated from the worship experience. So it took about like maybe, I don't know, almost a minute just to walk over to where E-Kids were at. Yeah. But now that we're in the forum, look how cohesive it is. I mean, like it just feels like we're all one team, one church, and not feeling so separated.
We're all together.
Yes, we're all together.
Thinking back to Christmas at the concert hall.
Yes.
Like, do you remember Brandon and them dancing, and we had the choir? Easter at the gym.
Yes.
What did we have? Almost
Oh my gosh.
1,300
Over
people?
1,000, yep.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
How many people gave their hearts to the Lord?
477 people gave their lives to Christ.
Wow. Pastor Q and Pastor Jared always talk about when you give to EG Church that you're giving to good soil.
Right.
And us just talking through those stories today,
Yeah.
it shows that God is doing something great here.
Amen. Yeah, I know. Aren't you excited that you get to be a part of a church where God is moving?
Absolutely. And he's just getting started.
So, Kasumnes was such a godsend for us when we were able to get in there. Our auditorium was great, but especially our children's ministry, E-Kids, was phenomenal in that place. But we started growing, and that's a good problem, but it was still a problem. We started outgrowing our facility too fast. We launched the second and then a third experience, and we knew that we were gonna have to find a new location as our church continued to grow. So I remember that we were checking out the city, so many different areas, different buildings, and when we drove into this parking lot, I remember thinking to myself, can I really see our church being here? And as we pulled in and started walking inside, I was thinking, man, I could already imagine all of the lives being changed, all of the miracles that God was going to do, and even the baptisms that will happen right here on this concrete. I couldn't wait. So we're here at the building today, and I'm going to show you guys around and maybe even walk you through some of the thoughts I had when I first got here. This place is going to be able to seat 350 people on a weekly basis. This is going to be a house of worship. I can just see the worship leader just leading the people and the masses, just worshiping God together right here in this place. So we're not building a church just for ourselves. It's for our children and our children's children. That what we are doing today, we're marking our ground here in the city that will outlast us for generations to come.